Hey everybody, Mark Lotz here. It is with Discover Your Home. I'm thinking about renaming it Date Night with Mark on Wednesday night. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, share with your friends. We're going to give you some information here tonight. If there's anything we can do to answer questions on issues that you're having with your home or having with folks that are, doing work in your home, give us a shout. Let us know if we can answer anything that you might have challenges with. So starting tonight, I want to talk a little bit about when you want to do projects around your home yourself, kind of your do-it-yourselfer, or when is it time to pick up the phone and give that professional a call. And, I would probably say my 30-year career, I've probably been at least 500 to 1,000 homes a year. So I get a myriad of different folks that are out there. And, I get some folks that really just love to do things themselves. But there are some things that they can't do. They just either physically can't do or don't have the equipment to do, or just kind of beyond their scope of what they can handle. So, hey, I'm a real big believer if you like doing it yourself, if you like doing the painting, the carpentry, you want to install those cabinets, you're doing a little bit of electrical work, you're putting in some new lights, and you love doing that, listen, go right ahead and get it done. If you really love to do it, one of my favorite clients was a doctor, an obstetrician, and he loved to garden. That was the one thing that when his time was off, he would be out in the garden, and when he retired, he went to work at a nursery and just loved doing it for next to nothing. And sometimes you find that passion in things you just do around the house. So if you love doing it, great. But I'm kind of talking a little bit to some of you folks out there that may not necessarily love doing it or realize there's a lot more involved in getting some things done at your home. So, between, specific knowledge, equipment, materials, patience. So a lot of folks don't necessarily know what goes into doing certain projects. Say it's a painting project, or maybe you're installing some cabinets. Things kind of that fall along that line. So let me tell you a little quick story about a project we did, I'm going to say probably about 6 years ago. And it was kind of a project we did for a customer that wanted to remodel their kitchen. And he had a lot of the mechanical trades people, like the plumbers, the electrician, the HVAC guys. He had guys that he had worked with and wanted to handle that part. So we were going to handle the aspect of really the kind of the face of it, the cabinets, the painting, the countertops, and everything. So I agreed with him. I said, listen, we'll do the project with you, because he had been my customer for over 10 years, and he had asked if we'd come and do this project with him. And I said, sure, no problem. It was really just a joy to work with him and his wife. And it was kind of funny, because I said, now here, just understand one thing. We're going to come to a kind of a crossroad, and what's going to happen is something's going to come up that you and I, can't foresee. In fact, what we had done in his project was, when we were removing the soffits, before we even started the project, we decided to open up his soffits, look in there to see if there was anything going on. And we didn't see anything. So he's like, fantastic, let's get going. So got cabinets ordered, everything's kind of ordered, and we start doing the demo on his house. And come to find out, there's this big old cast iron drain pipe where it shouldn't be. And it was kind of funny, because he really panicked and like, what do I do? And I said, well, let's take a look at what we have here. We got a problem. We can move the pipe, or we can keep it in place, and we'll probably have to go a different avenue, So I told them realistically the challenge was probably about a $4,000 challenge to a $400 challenge. We had to either take the pipe, move the pipe, or we'd have to call the cabinet company up and say, okay, is there a way we can modify the cabinets that you're building for us to make the project happen? So he said, it was great to have you here to help out, because there was something that he wasn't expecting. And occasionally we have those situations where we are going to run into the unexpected. So in the end, we got problem solved. It was a modification in the cabinet, and the cabinet company was absolutely wonderful to work with. And they decided, hey, we're not going to charge you for it. We're actually, the cabinets weren't in complete production, so they modified the cabinet for my customer and made it happen. And why I tell you that story is because sometimes it doesn't hurt to pick up the phone and call that professional. Here's the thing. They're highly skilled individuals. Your plumbers, your HVAC, your electricians, and carpenters. They're highly skilled. They've been in certain situations where you have never been before. They have the absolute necessary tools. They know how to handle a tough situation. They're not real surprised by anything. So I kind of this is the rule I like to leave with folks. Don't do anything that can burn your house down, flood your house, or asphyxiate you because you don't know how to run a HVAC system. So if we can operate off of that, anything that's going to do major damage to your house, I always tell folks, if you don't feel confident in doing that, and that might be just setting a new toilet. If you don't feel confident, it would behoove you to go ahead, pick up that phone, and make a call to that professional. It comes down sometimes also to budget. And if you don't necessarily love to do the work, what I would recommend is, I always tell folks is, save your money when the time is to come to do that small remodeling project, or you're going to put some cabinets here and you don't feel comfortable with it. If you don't have the money today, save it till tomorrow and find someone that's incredibly qualified to do the project. I think you'll be happier in the long run. It really can be worth the wait. So I want to thank you again for joining me. I'm Mark. This is with Discover Your Home. Enjoy your wonderful evening, and see you guys next week.